Welcome to Re-Evolution Farmstead.
Originally in this area, this is some of the first farming area.
So we've spent the last 3 years trying to clean this up. We've got a couple different garden plots. We've kind of divided this into quadrants. The first one here is basically our educational garden and our private gardens. The educational gardens are part of Corinne's program that she offers through Wahlert Catholic High School. It's a private school and a private school system in Dubuque. The other half of this garden is rentable plots for anybody to utilize. Right now it's being used by a teacher friend of mine. He rents it on a yearly basis from us. And this side is going to be allocated for commercial greenhouses. Last year, the year before, I was actually growing quite a few indoor cultivated mushrooms on supplemented sawdust. Once the mushrooms are done and harvested, those sawdust blocks have been broken down into usable nutrients for the plants to then pull the nutrients that they want out of the sawdust blocks. And so we basically let them dry out, crumble them, and then incorporate them into the soil. We didn't have any water source on the property, so a little bit of Yankee ingenuity and some tanks that were donated to us from Convivium Urban Farmstead. We were basically able to construct a Roman aqueduct system from the houses that surround our property. So water would normally run off their houses and down the hill and wash out our hillside. I said, well, why don't we collect this? So we tied right into their downspouts, and that goes into the water cisterns. There was literally a month where we had no rain, and so we couldn't catch any water. But like I said, working with our neighbors and having them support our mission and of participating in sustainable local food production has really enabled us to kind of work through some of the issues that we've had. I want to give the power back in educational choice to the parents. Children are not sugar cookies. We can't stamp them out of molds like we're doing in the public school system. That's fine for a majority of students. It does a great job. I'm not arguing that it doesn't. But there's a lot of students along the fringes that are not satisfied or not provided the opportunities or the intensity of programs that they need to be successful. We stress diversity, equity, and inclusivity in all aspects of our public schooling, right? But one thing we don't apply that to is to the how the student learns, or the methodology in which they're being taught, or the curriculum that they're being taught. We're expecting everybody to be the same, but yet we say they're different. And they are different, and we need to make sure that we're addressing those differences. And so that's why I support universal school access, because I also understand, working in a Title I school, that not all students have equal opportunity as other students to attend a school that would be more tailored to their educational requirements. The state allocated tuition that is collected from the individual taxpayer needs to follow that student wherever, if they choose to go to a public school, a private school, or even homeschooling. The fallacy of public money for public schools is just that. It's a fallacy. Money should follow the student. It comes from the student's parents. It needs to be the student's parents' choice of how that's spent and where it's spent. I think we need to look at model states that have successful and dynamic educational opportunities and include the parent's choice on how their student is educated to the best of their ability to maximize their performance and send them out into society with the best possible chances. And I sincerely believe that universal school access and parental choice is the best option for Iowa, and I fully support it. I do support the Freedom Amendment, and I support the right to keep and bear arms for all citizens within the state of Iowa and nationwide. Iowa is one of 6 states that don't have any protection for the right to keep and bear arms within their state constitution, right? 2 states that I can refer to that also don't are California and Illinois. And if you're a responsible gun owner in the state of Iowa, I think you can understand why this amendment is so important to us. The right to bear arms shall not be infringed, I think, is the crucial part of the national constitution, right? And we've infringed nationally over 1,000 different times with different restrictions, with different purchasing procedures on that right. okay? And when the founders wrote that amendment, they referred to the militia. Well, we are the militia. Everybody in this state and in the nation is the militia. I don't want there to be any confusion about that. What I consider the militia are law-abiding, responsible gun owners, and we need to respect their rights. So I don't want to violate our men and women's rights to keep and bear arms in any form, and their choice of what type of firearms that they should choose to bear, or when they choose to bear them. That's up to the individual. We've been, banned psychedelic use and study for the last 40 years. We've bypassed a lot of crucial time to really learn about their proper use and what they can do for everybody. What I want to bring to the table is new solutions, new cutting-edge solutions, better availability, and timely treatment, especially in crisis scenarios. For a veteran or a civilian to have to wait a day, 2 days, a week, a month, just to get a phone call in to seek help. What I'm proposing is the use of clinically applied psychedelics. And that means you actually have to go to a clinic under the advisement of a trained healthcare professional. You have to participate in a clinical setting along with that trained mental health professional, in which you will then be given the therapy at that clinic. We can completely change people's lives with this opportunity. When we talk about the efficacy of psychedelics within the mental health application, there's numerous studies that have been conducted by Johns Hopkins, Harvard University. It's been endorsed as far as showing extreme capabilities in the mental health field by both the National Institute of Health and the actual Veterans Administration. Two prominent organizations within the United States that are veteran-run, that have assembled legislative support within the state of Texas, almost unanimously, and passed a bill allowing the continuation of studies and clinical application of psychedelics to help veterans within the state of Texas, and approved by the governor. Right? So this is an actual program being utilized right now in that state and in several other communities around the United States. And the veterans that are running this organization have actually participated in these treatments themselves. And they're former Special Forces operators and Medal of Honor recipients. I know we need to do something like this in the state of Iowa. Psychedelics relax the mind, bring down the walls, and allow the veteran to address the trauma that they experienced and accept it and move forward so they can be a productive member of their family, society. They can break their addiction to substances that they were using for self-medication. We broke their bodies and we try to take care of them. But we've also broken their minds, and we need to put them back together.